G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the west side of the map, playing as the French, it is Give You Anxiety. So for all you guys anxious, don't pay attention to the villager in the town center. That would make me anxious. What is GUA up to here? What kind of build order have you got planned out for us, Mr. GUA? You can see already he has got a mining camp coming down. He has got his lumber camp coming down. And of course, he's got villagers over on the sheep at these early stages, but he's got the second scout out. Second scout making its way out across the map here, and going to be turning its attention towards picking up those sheep. But now house going to be coming down. GUA's build starting to look pretty good. I'm liking the look of it. Is he going for an early wheelbarrow? Is that what it is? He's got the one villager on wood. That's what's throwing me off. I don't know how I feel about this early villager on wood. Oh, excuse me. We'll have to see what he gets up to. But over on the other side of the map, spawning in as the Chinese, in the color red, it is not Salami with that elephant in the middle. It is Famut the Great, who, if I remember correctly, last time we called him Famut the Good because he actually lost the game. So we've got Famut the Good here. Can he turn himself out to be Famut the Great this game? Is he able to overcome one of the greatest Age of Empires players that has ever lived, Give You Anxiety? He was an incredibly talented Age of Empires 3 player, incredibly talented Age of Empires Online player. The question is whether he's going to be able to make his mark up against Give You Anxiety in this Age of Empires 4 game. So Famut the Great, can he restore his name? Can he look to honor his family? In the early stage of the games, he's looking good here. He's opened up with the mill. He's got the Imperial Official on it. He's gone for a double scout opening, as you typically want to do, as pretty much every civilization at this point in the game. Every single civ is making use of this second scout, whether it be for that extra sheep. It's normally for that extra sheep or to deny sheep. Even as the English, we see them go for that extra scout just to deny sheep from their enemy. Though I remember once I saw a second scout in an English mirror. I'm like, what's the point of a second scout in an English mirror? You're going to be denying sheep from your English enemy who doesn't even want to be making, or doesn't even want to be taking sheep. So what's the point of that? But some nice little scouting that's coming in here. You can see he's bringing them back towards his mill. Ideally, in this scenario, Famut the Great should be on sheep. Sheep are much more effective in this situation here. And because of that reason, I actually encourage people, just chuck your mill right here. It's easy. It's easy, it's breezy. And then that way, when you put your Imperial Academy down, you can put it down right here, get it in nice and deep like. And that way, you're guaranteed to have a very nice source of tax income for the remainder of the game, just because of how effective that lumber camp is. It's going to be more than enough to get you up to the castle age. You don't even have to look at gold. But we do see him looking at gold now. He's going to be extending out towards that mining camp. Gold vein going to be coming up for him. And Give You Anxiety back towards this position. We can see he's actually, look at this, looky here. We have got ourselves a little bit of an early mill coming out over on the deer carcasses. I don't know how I feel about this. It's very, very far away, but it should be pretty effective. He's got them nice and close to that mill, so it's going to be quite effective. He's also getting the wheelbarrow through as well, going to be very helpful for his lumber choppers or his wood campers, but he's playing a very slow Age 1, and this is something that China loves to play against. If you play a slow Age 1 against China, oh, they are so happy. But the question is going to be whether Famut diagnoses it, whether he sees it, whether he spots it, whether he identifies that this is what he needs to be doing. But we'll have a look and see how he plays it. He's going to be looking to scout out that gold. Ideally, if he sees those 5 villagers on gold, he'd be very scared. He'd be like, oh my god, okay, he's coming and he's going to come hard. But in this scenario, if you came back towards this position, you'd be very, very happy to see this mill was taken, because it means you've got probably an extra 30-40 seconds before that knight is going to come in, which means that you can delay your barracks, which means you can get that early second town center up a little bit quicker. But we'll see how he looks to play it. Give You Anxiety on the north side here. Famut the Great going to be looking to scout him out, and indeed he does. He spots it as well, so he knows now as a result, he sees that mill. He will know that Give You Anxiety is the kind of guy to go for an early wheelbarrow, so that's just going to delay him even further. And Famut the Great going to be in a great spot. So here we're looking to get that age up landmark, whether he goes for a Barbican, whether he looks to go for a Imperial Academy. That would be the question. If he goes for Barbican, I would be putting your Barbican like right here. Even though it's at the back of your base, it makes so much sense because this is your food, this is your gold, right? It just makes sense to have your Barbican here. But I guess the other alternative is look to put it at the front, but it's not really going to be achieving much by doing that. The other alternative, actually, this is a good spot as well. Yeah, I would take this. This is good. So going to be able to cover the deer hunt as well. Could actually look to get a second town center up over here as well. We'll look to see how he plays it. He's getting a lot of villagers on gold. You can see he's got the second IO out here as well. So probably going to be going into that fast dynasty. There's no two ways about that, especially when he scouts out what's happening here. You can see the villager going to get harassed here by the scouts. Scouts doing a great job of just applying pressure, being annoying. He'll turn his attention towards that single scout. Now all of a sudden that villager going to be threatened as the scouts turn their attention towards it. Single sheep just minding its own business, coming around with the group, just wants to be part of it. Might think that it's a horse. You know, sometimes you see these sheep that think they're dogs. Maybe the sheep now thinks it's a horse, but the sheep going to be going back, has realized it is a sheep. And now more raiding going to be happening. All of those early deer are taken out. And now we've got GUA coming up as well. 5 villages on this landmark. Very slow age up though. He's going to be so happy with this Famut the Great. I think against the Chinese, it's so important to get an early start in raiding them and just looking to try and do damage early. Because if you do make it late game, as the Chinese, it's going to be so difficult to play up against them. Even as the French, which you guys will know, they're quite a strong mid-game civ, not the strongest late-game civ though. And now we see GUA going to be adding in more housing here. We see the landmark coming through from it. It's going to be the School of Cavalry, and indeed a knight going to be coming out shortly. Famut the Great also aging up. Now going to be looking to add in a second stable and an archery range. So a big economy coming out from Give You Anxiety. No surprises there. But Famut the Great back here. Still yet to go for that. What is Famut the Great doing? He's got 430 gold stacked up at this point. Is he going for a vast castle? Oh my lord, is the Chinese vast castle back? No, it's not. It's not. The Imperial Academy comes down. Good little spot here, but it's not eating up the wood. And this is where like the majority of your tax income is going to be coming from, the wood as well as the mill in the early game. But we'll watch to see how he plays it, because he could be going for something a bit different. Barracks coming down. He was just stacking up a lot of resources. I'm not sure what all of those resources are about, but we'll work it out. We'll work it out. Give You Anxiety down on the other side of the map, though. Adding in, look at this. You can tell he's going to put a keep down here. You know, we watched a gamer with OCD a little bit earlier. Give You Anxiety, no exception. He always does this when he plays French. So how is he going to do it? So the keep is going to be either on this side or on this side, but he will extend out the military production. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2 finally here. And he'll have 12 military production buildings, no barracks. It'll just be stables, it'll be archery ranges, and he'll make sure that he puts a keep in the middle of them that'll give that nice little discount when he starts getting on. But now wall's going to be coming up for Give You Anxiety. Very strange to see the French player walling in this matchup. Knight going to be moving around. He spots out a couple of spearmen in this situation as well. Scout going to be knowing about it and shadowing it back towards his base. You can see the spearmen moving up towards that northern position and looking to try and take control of the food source. But the Song Dynasty has now begun, and the question is where Famut looks to go from here. We're at 7 minutes 40 at this point in time, and just a handful of spears going to be coming out for Famut here. Villager's going to be under attack. You can see the villager really going to be taking its toll here, managing to survive with 2 health. So that right there, it's not, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a bug, it's more a mechanic, but for anybody unfamiliar with the way that the French Knight works. So the French Knight, when it attacks, it applies a little bit of damage immediately after it attacks. But the problem is it's not immediately. It is not immediately. So you can see right here if we hover over it. So it says gains bonus damage for 5 seconds after charging, effective against most units. That's not true. It gains bonus damage for 5 seconds about 1 second after charging. And it means that if you get a hit in on a villager, before that extra damage has come through, it survives with 2 damage. And if you get a hit in, if you micro your Royal Knight just a little bit after the charges happen, it still gets the bonus damage. And look at that, Famut the Great being very annoying. Villager is going to be coming out here towards that boar, and Famut thought he was being annoying, but he's just aggroed it towards a Royal Knight, which is just going to heal up the damage anyway, so he doesn't even mind. GUA moving out towards the map, looking to take control. Has he got that survival techniques in? Indeed, he does have that survival techniques coming in. So he's going to be very, very effective when it comes to gathering up this boar in the middle of the map. And now Spear's going to be moving up. But keep in mind, there are archers lying in wait. There are scouts looking to meet out the scouts of his opponent. And now up towards the base of Famut the Great. You can see the Imperial officials just working overtime. It looks like Chokunu production going to be the way that he goes here. And Chokunu going to be a very strong counter towards the French in this scenario. Very difficult to deal with. And a lot of people might look at the Royal Knight and say, yeah, the Royal Knight deals with it effectively. Sure, that's true. But the Chokunu's good, all right? Just hear me out, all right? There's a whole rationale to why it's good. Your archer, you know, your normal archer, it does 5 damage. With +1, it does 6 damage. Your Chokunu does 4 damage. With +1, it does 5. Now, your Knight, when it's got 3 armor, but let's say it goes up to 4. Now, all of a sudden, 4 armor versus 6 damage and 5 damage. But remember, there are bursts. There are bursts. Then that's where it starts to get different. That's where the Choconu starts to come in, because it is doing effectively 3 damage a shot compared to the Archer, which is doing 2 damage a shot. And it also fires a lot faster when it comes to attack speed. If we take a look at the Archer, you can see it fires once every 1.5 seconds. The Choconu, though, it fires once every 1.25 seconds. So do not be alarmed, or do not be... What is the word I'm looking for? Do not be mistaken. The Choconu is quite the beast when it comes to taking on the early game French player. And now the French player looking to struggle a little bit here, going to be looking to evacuate villages inside these outposts, provide a little bit of cover here. And now the spear is going to be getting in on top. Beautiful push coming out from Famut the Great, and wonderful timing is managed to find here. And now the reinforcement's going to continue to back up. You can see the French player Give You Anxiety trying to hold on, and now turning his attention towards the outposts. Where is the army here for Give You Anxiety? Was he thinking about going castle? Surely not. Not when he's out on the map like this, just taking positions up. But now reinforcement's going to get picked up. We can hear the scouts battling it off once again. Is that scout on scout action once again? Oh my god, it is. Those 2 scouts have been kissing and holding each other's hands in the forests for at least the last 2 or 3 minutes. And now villagers going to be forced to evacuate from the scene. More archers going to be coming out, but now we see the real damage coming through. Choconu looking pretty decent. No damage, or no upgrades coming through yet for the armor. You can see it's about to come through for that ranged armor right now. There it comes in. So looking now to do a fair bit more tanking up, but keep in mind the Choconu is still yet to get that +1 attack in, so not going to be even effective against the Choconu. It's only going to be effective as from the Archer's perspective, and for the Horsemen actually. The Horsemen do get that nice little bit of extra bonus damage, but now it looks like Give You Anxiety is forcing out Famut the Great. Famut the Great overstaying his welcome, like an in-law, I guess you could say right now. Like an in-law on Christmas. But now, at the same time, look at the upgrades that are coming through from Famut. Famut is just really going ham with these Imperial officials, and you got to admire it. This is beautiful stuff coming out from him. No double broadaxe just yet. Do we have a wheelbarrow? No wheelbarrow coming through. 378 gold in that mill right now. And this is the consequence of if you do look to drop down that Imperial Academy and you don't look to use your Imperial officials on it, you're going to start stacking up huge amounts of gold in here that can very easily be used. You know, you've got an Imperial official that's, you know, buffing up this archery range. Why don't you just drop 2 more archery ranges and then get that Imperial official out and collecting and having a great time out on the map? But now we've got double rams getting dropped down here for Famut the Great. Keep in mind, still no double broadaxe coming in from him. But I guess the real question is now going to be, how does Give You Anxiety respond to this? Because Give You Anxiety, he's out on the map. He needs to be making units. He can't be thinking about going castle at this point. You can see he's only got the 1 archery range out. He's got 3 stables, though. This guy's a lunatic. How are you making that many stables against China? You're crazy. And now going to be adding in the 2nd archery range. Probably needs to add in a 3rd one as well. I wouldn't be surprised at this point, but you can see his economy is absolutely massive behind this. GUA doing work. And now looking to get his final upgrade in Age 2. GUA always going to be known as a guy that loves to get those upgrades in, but now we see those battering rams rolling down the carpet, rolling down the red carpet, it seems, as they have been welcomed into the neighborhood. Famut the Great definitely not looking to overstay his time. This time the in-laws are back, and they have brought your cousins. And oh god, don't you love the cousins? Ah, gosh. Actually, I do have some cousins that I do really, really like, but then I've got some cousins that are like, big shout out to the cousins right now. But now GUA going to be evacuating this point. More than 1,100 food remaining on that boar. 2nd boar out on the map, still yet to be taken up towards this northern position. I was having a look for it. Took me a while to find it. Knights at the same time on the back line, doing a great job. No walls coming up from Famut the Great yet. I'd love to see some walls come up from him. Even just some like sneaky little walls out to the side or something like that. But not going to be in a position to really offer it at this point in time. More villagers. Got to be careful here. And now those Imperial officials getting to work out on this front. You can see he's got plenty of units just getting funneled out here. He's got double archery, or actually double barracks and a single archery range. But he is just non-stop making units out the wazoo. He's on 50 villagers at the moment. Compare that over to GUA, he's on 49. So villager count's very even at this point in time. Military is where the difference is really going to come in. But remember, GUA's got those more expensive Royal Knights that are going to be counting almost like a 2-for-1 in that regard. But now, Spearmen moving back, Battle Ring Rams going to be looking to take down the Mining Camp. Mining Camp going to be going down very, very quickly. You can see that damage coming out and just getting cleaned up completely. And now attention going to be turned towards that position. GUA actually dropping down a 2nd town center. I didn't even realize. I just see it now. No 2nd town center coming out from the Chinese player. At least not yet. Give You Anxiety is training up villagers from both of these town centers, also looking to get textiles as an upgrade. Realizes that he's going to need it in this scenario, but at the same time, villagers going to be going down on the front line. He's going to need that textiles in sooner rather than later. You can see it's still queued up behind this, but now GUA looking to push in towards this front line. Archers on the back line trying to take down the spearmen before they can really get into the fight, and you can see all those units going to be moving back. Villagers going to get pulled in this scenario, and now he's going to be heading towards those Chokunu. They've got their +1 upgrade, so they're going to be doing extra damage. Read all about it as the villagers take the battering rams, and there's no doubt about it as that second town center going to be going down, and Give You Anxiety definitely copping one in the face right there. Maybe playing it a little bit too greedy, and at the same time, Famut looking very strong in this second age feudal fight. Now the Chokunu continues to pump out damage onto those villagers. So many villagers going down. Give You Anxiety down to 47 villagers. 54 for Famut the Great. He's looking to restore his name. You guys will know that Famut the Great was known for quite a long time as just Famut the Good. There was even a point where he was Famut the Mediocre. But now he's worked his way back up to Famut the Good, and now potentially looks to move up to Famut the Great. But struggling a little bit with regard to his food economy. Obviously going up against the French, it's never an easy time with food, just because you're wanting to go onto farms quite early against the French, because if you do push out, you're going to get punished. But look at the units just streaming across the map right now. Streaming like a live streamer. They are just coming out non-stop across this map. And Famut the Great is starting to look concerning as he begins posturing, asking to try and take out Give You Anxiety. Is Give You Anxiety going to be able to hold on? Now, I said Give You Anxiety was a bit greedy before. How was he greedy? Well, he got all of his economic upgrades, and that might seem like something that's quite normal, but I assure you that's actually quite greedy to be doing, and especially to drop that second town center, especially greedy when your enemy is just going... I mean, he went for a Song Dynasty, which in itself is quite greedy, but goes for the Chokunu, which is going to give him great power. And now Give You Anxiety going to be really looking to struggle at this point in time, trying to keep his head above water. You can see the Knights as Archers beginning to posture. Villagers going to be coming in for a pull as well. At the same time, those Knights looking to come through, and now Knights making it onto the back line. Archer's going to be looking to pick off those spearmen, but now he's fallen into a bit of a hard place because he's been split up. Archers looking to try and get in here and do some damage. Now villagers going to be turning their attention towards the battering ram. Town center going to be healing up, trying its best to stay alive, but China Age 2 is starting to look very fierce. The Chokunu so aggressive in this position, just able to take out so much of the military mass of his opponent, but still the Archers, the Knights getting in on top of it. How many villagers is GUA on? That's Famut. He's on 61. GUA down to 34 villagers right now. That is not a good position to be in right now, and Famut going to walk away from this, tail in his legs, but he knows that he has bitten quite a bit off GUA in this position. A lot of villagers did go down. He's not going to be sure exactly how many it was, and oh my god, more villagers going down over here on the berries. Give You Anxiety starting to struggle, starting to worry or wonder how he's going to find himself a window to get back into this game, and it's starting to look less and less likely. He's got his economic upgrades. He had that second town center, but I can't help but feel the positioning on it may have been a bit questionable. Imagine if that second town center had been, you know, back here behind the wood line. It would have been so much more difficult for his opponent to spot, let alone take out. And as a result, it really means that GUA is in a tough position. Ideally, up against this composition, he wants to be going something like Men-at-Arms. Men-at-Arms are going to be very effective against it, but it's just so difficult. And now the Knight's going to be moving forward. A lot of spears here to help defend, and the spear's going to be looking to get up in on the mix. They've got that +1 armor, going to help them out a huge amount. And now the Chokunu continuing to do work as they continue taking out those Archers, and a bit of a raid up towards the north. Villagers here going to get taken out. We can see one did lose its life. Second one probably going to be losing its life as well. Spearmen here to respond to it. Chokunu moving back just for the moment. He's doing a good job of just forcing his opponent out, but now Spears looking to try and close the gap, or rather Knights looking to close the gap. Spearmen managed to turn around. A great little bait in that position. More Spearmen coming out. Look at them just streaming across the map right now. 2 by 1, 2 by 1. 2 Spearmen, 1 Chokunu. 2 Spearmen, 1 Chokunu. Just constantly coming out. And now those Chokunu could potentially turn their attention on towards the villagers on the berry bush, and indeed they do. GUA once again going to be struggling for resources. You can see he's down to 8 villagers on food. He's got 164 in the bank at this point in time. And now the Knight's going to be looking to try and get a final surround. You can see the Archer's going to be doing such a great job of coming up here, but the Chokunu managing to try and stay alive. You can see them working towards that goal of taking out the Royal Knights, and now the remaining hardened spearmen coming through and actually doing an effective job. But more Knights streaming in for Give You Anxiety. He's holding on. Villagers going to be taking down those battering rams. Not the first time we've seen battering rams die, and it looks like GUA might have found himself a little bit of a cleanup. I think GUA finally established himself as he managed to pull his head out from under the water. Is he able to get out of the pool that he found himself in? And oh no. More units streaming in. Famut the Great is really keeping the pressure on at this point in time. Villages are going down, though. So Famut is struggling. He's on 57 villages at the moment. Make that, 57. Compare that over to GUA, who's sitting on 36. So there's a 21 villager difference. But if there's anybody who can catch up, it's GUA. He's the kind of guy who's never going to give you up. He's never going to let you down. That is GUA in a nutshell. But now at the same time, big cleanup's going to be happening in this position once again. But unfortunately, it's going to be GUA that's getting cleaned up. You can see the Chokanu just doing so effectively at taking out those archers on the back line. And now just firing in all of their bullets towards that Royal Knight. Slowly tickling it down, but they do get it down. Keep that in mind. There's 3 damage a volley that comes off, and those volleys come out a little bit faster than the archers of their opponents. And so as a result, Famut the Great now going to be looking to clean up GUA's food income. Up towards the north, we saw an additional wall get thrown up by GUA over here. Very interestingly placed. I'm not sure exactly... I guess to try and keep the archers back so that the archers can't come through. But now Famut the Great realizes, hold on, he's got to be getting food from somewhere. And he sees that there are deer over here, but he knows that there are dead deer on the ground. And now finds himself a little bit of a cleanup on all 3. It is not the first time. It definitely won't be the last. There is action non-stop this game. And GUA now moving his villagers up into that top corner. Does he have the wall? He's just going to delete the wall. He's not even going to drop a gate in between it. Does he look for a potential quick wall? There's an option for him to do it here. Let's see if the villagers are able to drop it down in time. They've got that little bit of extra movement speed, but now the spear is going to be coming up, bringing out their charge and looking to get in on it, and GUA going to be struggling as he continues to chase those villagers around up to the north, and more units rallying up towards that position. You can see Famut definitely falling back towards his base in this scenario, and back in his base, look at the farms that are going up for him. He means absolute business and he is getting down to it right now. Not going to be stopping for those granaries, but you can see he's got so much gold in the piggy bank right now. 543 gold, still yet to get that wheelbarrow, still yet to get horticulture. No upgrades coming through at all for Famut. He is just putting the pedal to the metal with regard to the military at this point, and he's doing a great job with it. So impressive stuff coming out from Famut there. And now Chokunu looking to get in on the action as well. A wolf going to be starting the action on the back, and GUA somehow feels like he can apply pressure towards the front. Despite being down a huge military deficit, despite being down a huge economic deficit, he still feels like he's going to need to make something happen. And if there's a way that he gets back into this game, it is by doing some damage on his opponent's side of the map. And now Famut the Great looking to really clean this up. Look at the army mass coming out from Famut the Great. Ideally, what you want to see from GUA is just raids. He needs to be raiding over here. He needs to be raiding up towards the north. And needs to be raiding absolutely everywhere. That is the only way he's really going to find a way back into this match. So we'll look to see how he does it. But now, really going to be starting to struggle because those units are going to be making their way across the map. And GUA going to be struggling. Famut looking for a bit of a promotion. He was once known as Famut the Mediocre. He made his way up to Famut the Good. He then went to Famut the Great. And now, potentially, does he go to Famut the God? Is that where he goes to? Probably not. There were a few mistakes, so you guys will know God doesn't make mistakes. And that is going to be the case here, so we're going to have to call him just Famut the Great for now. Maybe he becomes a pharaoh. Actually, is a pharaoh a god? I don't know if a pharaoh is a god. But anyway, he's trying his best. I think he's in a decent position. I think as long as a couple battering rams come out here, which they don't look likely. He's instead just going to be going up to the next stage. But he is pushing while going up to the next stage. So there is a window here for GUA to try and take this out. He's making knights back home. But going to be struggling once again on the front. He's got up a decent mass here. But I'm fearful that as soon as GUA sees his enemies in age 3, he's going to know that it's over. Because that's essentially the way that it's going to work in this scenario, I would suspect. Just because there are so many units that are coming out from Famut. Famut really looking to go up. And now GUA might find himself in a bit of a position to clean this up. But you can see he's going to have to fall back. Spearman at the same time, as well as the Chokanu going to be reinforcing in this position. A lot of Chokanu beginning to come out here from Famut the Great. He's up to 26. That's 75 damage plus that's going to be coming out from those Royal Knights. New age has begun. Famut the Great looks to get into age 3, and now he's going to be retreating, continuing to focus down all of these units, and he's doing such a great job kiting back, falling back, getting off one of those shots every single time he does it. And you can see GUA, where is GUA? GUA just about to tap out. Right there. There it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, the game was bugged a little bit. The tap out has happened. There it is. Good game. GUA, unfortunately, going to be losing in that scenario. It just takes us back to this screen because that's the way the game likes to give it to you. But, fellas, I hope you've enjoyed this casted game. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can catch GUA live. He's probably live right now. So why don't you go say good day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.